Hello, I'm Jack Ginnon, and today I'm going to be going over my prototype free project, Fishing Overhaul. Okay, let's do one last recap. So, Stardew Valley, it's this indie pixel art farming game where you can like talk to the townsfolk, marry some of them, go mining, and also fight monsters in those mines, but you can also fish in that game. And fishing is so important to Stardew Valley. I wanted to like port its mechanics to a more 3D template. So that's what I did for Prototype 2. Now for Prototype 3, which is what we're currently going over right now, I want to add like a few other touches that I see, like for example, I'm like be like this little line to like see able how far you cast your line, or like details about the fish you caught. So this is basically showing like what's in, what's not, and basically what I've learned from this. Okay, let's see our project. Already it's not much of an eyesore. There's some scenery, sand, water. Currently, good day to fish. Yep, nothing out of the ordinary. Nope, no siree. Just a normal day fishing. It's nice, right? Hmm. Sorry about that. And let's try it again. Ah, there we go. Let's catch that fish. Wow, look at that! A common fish. What happens if we use, rare baits? Let's find out. Let me just... Whew. Okay, by the way, there is this... that little bar was actually shooting in Project 2. Oh, shit. Uncommon fish. Oop. Look at that. Look. Another fish. Uncommon fish. Fish. And also, there's like text the fish. And there's like... Whoa. Wow. This actually looks like a decent demo. Whoa. Okay. Enough goofing off. Let's head back to the presentation. Alright. Yes. That... basically the fishing demo. Here is like a few codes that have been added to the project. One of them is the fishing manager. This basically helps like distinguish all the different fish, and all of its like help to gain a bit of variety. It helps. This is basically a script of where like that separates like different fish classes, and over here is where like you can get like the fish instance with info, and also this is the little code that helps picks out random fish. Over here is what fish trigger, which is basically if you cast your water into a while, it basically waits a specific amount of time, and then the fish catches when it starts the mini game. And also the fishing line status. This basically is like the bar up above like the screen, basically telling you like how much you're trying to pull in the fishing rod. Now, okay, this is basically both those codes. Now, I want to talk about like what we got right and what we got wrong with the projects. Now, let's starting off. We have basically Fish AI is now more varied than possible. I'm so happy about that. I am so happy. It's distinct fish, although it's not like the icons are showing it's distinct fish, but it isn't. Those are distinct fish. Also, the fact that you can also there's also little info about the fish, like its rarity and what type of fish it is, is. And then farther cast works perfectly fine. I honestly, that was something that was carried over from Project 2, and it works as well as it did. Also, there is different bait now, so now you can catch like better fish or like special like stuff like boots or heck, you can even catch a salmon. Also, the environment is improved a bit. I gave a bit more of a cartoonish style. It's it's a bit more goofy for like but honestly I think it fits well with like this little cartoonishy pole I got. Okay, the stuff that was cut. I couldn't. Okay, for starters, inventory was the most complicated one. I couldn't really figure out. I tried really hard to like try to code in a specific orange inventory, but it just kept crashing the project as a whole, and I couldn't get enough time to fix it. Also, the treasure chest minigame, which overlapped with the fishing minigame, and so I couldn't get that working. I tried to do a lot of connections, but it was just hopeless. I think it was better to just like leave the fishing game as it was. The mulch pile was like basically how you got baits. I honestly it was going to have a bit of an inventory. Basically, it was going to serve like an actual chest, but then I thought honestly the mulch is basically not important to the project. It's just like this simple little pile, and honestly, I just carried it just like bait button, and it just supplies baits already, so you can. Hence, also, I did promise in like the original like prototype 3 times, like the little icons just gonna be different types of fish. Honestly, I thought that was kind of pointless. To be honest, I can honestly you don't need the icons. I think it's just the regular fish that should be distinct. Alright, final tips and takeaways. Honestly, while I was working through the whole project, I've honestly had this question in the back of my mind from the Boondocks when Huey asks his grandpa, "What do you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing you can do?" And Grandpa responds back with, "Do what you can." And honestly, uh, that's basically what I did for the project. I did what I could. Uh, and honestly, I'm glad that I could do it, even if it's a flawed execution. And also, if you want to this is basically like this is a pre-P from last time, but if you want to like implement something, you honestly need to test if you can possibly or theoretically do it first. Like you can't just like you like have an idea and like just immediately do that. You have to test it. Also, if you always give. Okay, so I know like the project is important, but for the video, you need to also give time as well, because you think to yourself, this I can just immediately get it done in a day, and that may be right, but but for like someone with like trying to put effort, this is probably going to take a lot more than you're going to think. And there's going to be a lot of technical difficulties that you're going to experience. Okay, so well, the penultimate point is if you're stuck on something, you can stop, but if you want to progress, ask for help. That's also a repeat of of a lesson I learned in presentation 3, but honestly, I kind of it was in the back of my mind. This is basically the thing that was basically just constantly do what you can and asking for help if needed. And honestly, if you're the last thing is that if you're going to go into a game engine you just started using, don't expect to be a cakewalk. I honestly I chose Unity because there was a lot more like projects around fishing, and there was just not much support for like fishing games in like Unreal, but the more I got into Unity, Unity is just C sharp, so there is a lot of coding, and honestly, coding takes a long time, and it's not my favorite process. I honestly want to go back to Blueprint, but honestly, this has been a really interesting experience to take. And honestly, I am just really glad with the final project that I have. And that was my prototype presentation free, the fishing overhaul.